Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody across the world, and welcome to the DreamHack Pubg Showdown, sponsored by Corsair and Monster Energy. My name is Richard Sims. This beautiful man is Martin Good. Got that right, didn't I?
Pretty good,
right?
yeah.
Pretty good,
close, yeah.
AKA Avenger, and we are here to bring you the European qualifiers for the Pubg Showdown. Now, today we have 16 of Europe's finest teams, and they're going to be battling out across a best of 10 over 2 days for 3 spots at DreamHack Austin. And when they get there, Martin, that's a $100,000 prize pool. Quite a lot of cheddar on the line.
Yeah, and possibly a lot of live viewers as well. It's a huge LAN event as well, so there might be some LAN viewers. We've seen it before. We've seen it in other tournaments that you've been proving yourself online, but you might not be able to do it online as well. So a LAN viewers is a huge thing, I think, especially in such a new game as well.
So we will have 5 North American rosters, 5 European rosters, and as Martin mentioned, 6 BYOC. So anybody can enter the fray. But we'll take a quick rundown of the teams that will be on your screen today. Now, that green bar is the one thing that you need to keep an eye out for. Once we finish this best of 10, if you are above that green line, you are booking your tickets to DreamHack Austin, baby. It's as simple as that. So, teams performing today: Face Clan, Vitality, Crimson, Rogue, Kingwin, Pittsburgh Knights, Havu Gaming, Digital Chaos, Team Red Zone, Project X, Plumbers, Team Liquid, The Imperial, Navi, Avanga, and Noxious. I've got to say, Martin, it's a LAN finals.
It is. It is. This is Insane Team, and Project X as well is the old Genside roster. So we're talking Eggedorp, we're talking all the guys previous also with Kylank. I don't think he's there anymore, but it's also a very strong lineup as well.
I mean, when you look at this, is there any kind of... It's hard to say. I want to say what she predicted top 3, but honestly, with this game, obviously we do have, it is a best of 10 at the end of the day.
Yeah. Anything's
possible. You know, we had a bit of a giggle when we were talking about the curse trials for the Group C, about it being a LAN final. So we're kind of in the same scenario. This is anybody's game. It can be anyone's kind of day. And again, it's a best of 5 today and a best of 5 tomorrow. Just as a quick heads up, once this is all said and done, we found us 3 teams, they booked the tickets, they're going to DreamHack, simple as that. What happens to the rest of those 13 teams? Well, I'll tell you. Those 13 teams, they get a second chance. It's not the last chance saloon today. Everybody's got an extra life. They will go forward to European qualifier number 2. From that, 3 teams will advance up, and those 3 teams will be the top teams from points from the open side. So again, throwing in more teams... But it gets a little bit harder because that's it. That really is the last chance, and there's only two spots.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So, again, if you don't make it here across this weekend, there's always next weekend. But, I mean, is there any team in particular that you're looking forward to watching this week?
I mean, I'm looking forward to see if FaZe are able to book a ticket today or this week. But also another team I'm really hoping to see on LAN again is Rogue. They've been super consistent recently, and I think those are one of the teams that's going to be able to be in the top as well.
Of course, Rogue being the old Air Station Mike. If you've been watching, we'll try and reference some of the old names. If you've been watching Pubg competitive for a while, people have been getting picked up, and that's only natural with progression. You know, organizations, teams jump in. I mean, look at Vitality, for instance. It was Evolved, AAA, and now Vitality. So this is kind of what we're going to see, and this is kind of what we want to bring this weekend. Me and Matt were speaking before. It kind of explain more to not necessarily a casual audience, but people who are just joining us, people who want to jump into competitive, know about the competitive scene, so on and so forth. We'll try and break things down a little bit more, give you some more information, some more background. One of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing is Drainage in action.
Yeah.
Obviously, the recent transfer across the 2 CIS rosters moved from Avanga and then moved to Navi. Now, would I be right in saying he's the only player to win 2 LAN events now under his belt?
It is indeed. First Katowice with Avanga, and then recently the Global Loot League with the new Navi roster, looking very strong as well. It's safe to say that I think Navi's one of the strongest teams in Europe right now, and Europe also with the CS region included.
And obviously Navi being the old grubby roster, which is quite good to see because there's been a few times, and it's kind of happened with a few teams where it's been like, oh, it's a bit of a weird and wild roster, is it? It's a bit dodgy. And all of a sudden, you know, they take on Drainies. They get picked up by Navi. Like, that's a powerhouse organization that's entered the fray for PUBG Esports. Boom, straight away, they're winning an event. Simple as that. Now, that's kind of the second time it's happened. The first time that roster's attended a LAN event, won a placement. Avanga obviously qualified for the previous IEM as well, which was Oakland, but unfortunately couldn't go down. So you know, there's no telling. For all we know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, eh? But Drainage, he could potentially have been a 3 times winner.
Yeah.
That's just one thing we'll never know, but potentially could do it this time round. Will they qualify today? Will they move on to the LAN finals in Austin? And that finals is, and I'll let you kind of extend on this a little bit more, Martin. 6 placements can come from the open bracket. Virtually anything's possible.
I mean, there's been this huge qualifier. So we have these 8 invites, which is direct invites to this close qualifier, and then we have these 8 teams, which was we had 2 lobbies before. So you had 2 lobbies, and top 4 from these 2 lobbies, they went straight into the first part of the close qualifiers, and then across those 2 lobbies, we had the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th best teams across those 2 lobbies. They will go into the part 2, which is in 2 weeks, and they will have a second chance there. Or the 13 teams that are not getting a ticket here today, they will get a get a second chance. So it's basically the first time we see a double elimination in Pubg. It's a good way to do it. So these teams will have a second chance. So I hope if Navi coming out from the Global Loot League here, I hope I think this is a good chance. I hope they already booked their vices and applied for everything they need to do coming out of the CIS region. We don't want to miss them out again, based off political stuff at least.
I mean, this is kind of what we've been hearing. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's Team Liquid. Congratulations, Team Liquid, last night, but winning the Curse Trials. Also, a big shout out to Scoom donating his money to charity.
Oh yeah,
that's.
They took him $6,000 total, so he's donating $1,500 to charity out of his own pocket. Yeah. Money he just won.
Highly respectful.
Very respectful.
Big shout out to that man. Someone like Liquid, for instance, I believe, and again, don't quote me here, if they don't qualify this weekend, next weekend, they're the kind of the organisation that will go out and try and qualify from the floor. And that's kind of what we want to see. We want to see more organisations there. We want to see more teams. If these teams don't get through today, they get a second chance, second crack at the whip in European qualifying number 2. And then if they don't qualify from there, anybody, literally anybody, can go to Austin, BYOC.
Hack your computer.
Take it.
Put it on your back.
Can you imagine how much of a night? I mean, I can't imagine, like, even moving house and de-rigging my setup is a nightmare in itself.
Yeah.
Trying to transfer it.
It's a special thing.
Have you been to a BYOC?
Yeah.
You won the.
You mean you casted me wanting the DreamHack winner?
Yeah, but seeing you play is not really special or it's not rememberable, is it?
No, but yeah, going to a Pubg event in another country is something, but also traveling across the Atlantic for that. I mean, we have 4 spots at the Pubg qualifier as well at Austin, so a lot of teams are able to do that as well, and I believe it's coming a couple of thousand people already. So a lot of possibilities in coming in there. But I believe a lot of these teams that have these big organizations behind them, they would try to give them a third chance if they're here today.
That's what we're looking forward to. I'm getting word of me here. We are just getting this server live. We have the laptop here, so hopefully we'll try and be able to jump in ourselves. So we'll then have in the background a map that we can focus on. Obviously, everyone knows with Pubg, we get these. It's not the. There's a lot of organisation in the background. We need to get the players ready. There's a lot of players. Remember, 16 teams, times that by 4. I'm not good at maths, so I won't do it live on broadcast, but it's a hell of a lot of players. There's a hell of a lot of staff that go in the production to bring this to you at the end of the day. It's as simple as that. So big shout out to all the guys in the back. Big shout out to all the players that are going to be here this weekend. They've come through, it was, I believe, 5 rounds in total, which ended up in 4 best of 3s and then 1 best of 4 to get it. That's a lot of Pubg, man.
It is indeed. I believe it's one of the hardest qualifiers so far for an event.
Really?
Yeah, because
some big teams who fell.
Some not upsets, but still there are some really big teams. But in a BO3 with this hard game, you need to be super consistent all the way through. But because after the first BO3, come the next BO3, and it will reset your points. You have to reset your minds, and everything has to just go back to okay, guys, new lobby. Just keep on pushing, keep on grinding. So it's been a really, really hard qualifier for this.
Would I be right in saying this is one of, if not the only, but very few events where an event's not actually had direct invites to the main event?
Yeah, I think that's the only time. No, I mean, Global Loot League last week they had no they had only had qualifiers, and then the season, and then if you were topping the season each region, blah blah blah.
But it's nice to actually see an event like this on this scale for $100,000, where
no season before.
Yeah, teams actually have to fight their way through. So I'm actually being told the game is live, and I believe we're now on your screen. So here we go. We didn't see the initial playing route. We'll try and bring the map up for you guys on screen, and we'll see how she's going to go across the map. And there we have it, all the way down from the north, Sosnovka Island, Martin, straight across to the, from the south to the north. You're just going to skim Severny. So give me your thoughts here. Where team's going to be landing and what's kind of been prime position here?
I mean, we have Rogue, of course. They're going to go military. And I also saw on the map as well, FaZe was actually dropping in the south, trying to go for Novo. And we've seen that before with them. They are looting Novo a bit, or they will go directly to the usual loot spot, Milta Power. We have some other teams dropping a bit later. Vitality will go for the usual spot in Milta. We have some of the boys from Knights as well going for the Prison Lipovka area. Crimson, they will go for the Stalba Kameski area, as they usually do. Team Kenguin as well, they're going to go for the South George area. Navi for the Primorsk area. We see Havu as well. So actually a funny story here. Havu usually goes Primorsk, but they know that Navi goes Primorsk as well. So they're actually dipping out on this and trying to get away here. So Frost, he got a car, and he's going to leave Enzo Linzo alone to his. And Frost has actually recently joined forces with Red Zone. So they're a full Swedish lineup. Gavrin is one of them. They're driving a bit east. I believe they're looting the farm area west of Milta as well. We have the new Plumbers lineup, which is here, of course, as well.
Flusham.
The Flusham. We have Hayes, Yuki, Anonymous, and Stap. They're looting the western side of, southern side of Gatka.
So Kinguin can be left to do their own thing. Larson, Vad, Marisu there on your screens. Front six, back six, usual job. Get some loot. No one really is going to challenge them. We've seen them before kind of up at this North George area, sometimes making their way to hospital if they've been pushed, like in various other events that we've seen, where we have international teams that don't necessarily know where teams are going to go, don't respect these other rosters. They'll just say, okay, well, I know this is my place, so I'm just going to go there regardless. I don't care what you're going to do. So these guys are kind of free to do that. However, the circle, not necessarily in the best of favors. That first initial circle, you know, it doesn't do much damage. You can easily loot through it. You can move to it. Sometimes quite a lot of teams will even go for the second one if they had the meds to do so. But if you take a look at it now, you can see straight through the middle, she's separated. So teams down at the bottom, Rogue, the usual place for military that we've seen. FaZe actually moving out. Is this more of a, with FaZe seeing them down towards Novo? Is this something that's happened recently? Because generally we see them over at Milta. Yeah,
usually we've seen them a couple of times in Novo when they're not able to loot the Milta Power area. But what they usually do, if they're not able to reach this, they go Novo. If they see the circle popping north, they cross immediately, and then they go loot Milta Power because you have all the cars there as well. So staying Novo here, it's still kind of a 60-40 split from the north to the south. So I believe they're going to be on the eastern side here, on the eastern bridge, waiting for that to happen and see if they have to cross late. Of course, they know as well. So they actually have another team there, Pete and the Imperial guys. So there's actually two teams in Novo right now. And the guys from Rogue, they're all alone in military. So that's very interesting to see if something's going to happen there. No, I think that's the first fight is going to break out there.
And of course, the team that is actually facing off, as you mentioned, with FaZe down there in Novo, generally you don't have to take that fight. You know, you don't have to push across to the opposing side of the map. You don't have to get on the main part of Erangel. You can move leftwards. You can move into Sosnovka and kind of pray for the circle gods to kind of come your way down onto military, keep you there. So don't necessarily have to take that fight. One team that's sitting happy, Vitality as usual. Again, came in as Evolve, got picked up by AAA, went to IEM Oakland, picked up first place in there, and they've been doing extremely well ever since, kind of like FaZe, since they've got together as well. Not actually had a team change, which is always good to see from these top teams. If you're not changing your teams up, Martin, you'd have to say...
You keep your chemistry.
Yeah. It does say volumes about the team.
It does indeed. I mean, these teams have been together for a longer time. They are usually the teams that are better because you keep the chemistry, you keep everything, and you don't have to work on chemistry. You don't have to work on what are you used to that the other guys are saying, and you know where everybody's gonna be. You're gonna have the shoulder to shoulder kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, let's leave the map here for a second and take a look at this broader picture then.
Yeah.
Who would you suggest that's potentially in trouble? Not because of the distance away from the circle, Martin, but on their approach to the circle. Who's going to have problems here?
I mean, Liquid is usually ones that come in a bit late here. They're not going to be gatekept, but Knights here, they usually take this this hill south of Yasnaya. It's kind of the southern here. It's the U hill, some call it. It's many names. Northwest of the shelter here, we have a U hill, a huge hill. Knights usually go there and wait for the next zone when we have a zone like this, and they might be able to take some of the Liquid guys out. Crimson, on the other hand, is a team that comes in very late. They're going to loot for a long time. They also had a kind of a far jump coming into Stelpa Kameski. So Crimson in the north here, they're going to basically not start moving until they see the next zone.
Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful work from Ansvar and the boys in the back. That's going to be an M24 in the bag. Signed, sealed, delivered. Thank you very much. Pick up the package. Vitality. They've got a big boy gun underneath them now.
Yep.
And again, they don't necessarily have to move, I wouldn't say, Avenger. They can kind of chill for now. They've got this first initial circle, so they can carry on doing the thing. Level 1 chest. He wants to try and get rid of that urgently, at least. I mean, for me, it's just a personal thing. Taking a fight with any kind of level 1, whether we do know the helmet's the most important part because that's what's going to dink you and allow a team to grab a pick. But you don't really want to enter a fight with it at least level 2. Do you think that's fair to say? I
mean, it's pretty fair to say. I mean, at least teams like Vitality, I talked to them a lot. They're some good guys as well. Shiv, I talked to Shiv and he said they're going to loot Milta until they're done.
Right. Okay.
So these guys are a team that they're going to loot Milta until they're done. They're going to loot their full path, and then they're going to move from there. But with this kind of circle, you kind of want to make sure you have people maybe at the gas station of the eastern bridge, like Rogue already set up here. They have the western bridge and the south side. So it flips south. They're maybe able to pick up some of those valuable kill points.
Remember, there are 12 points per kill. So setting up a little bit of a cheeky bridge camp like that, it's going to pay dividends. But again, it's not going to come through yet. I wouldn't expect to see anybody rotate across that bridge because there's still plenty of map on both sides. So we're going to pre-prepare. You and Digital Chaos, we will see Gent side rotating across. Vehicle gets tanked up, but they're away. Not a problem with that one. So at least give them the warning shot to say, okay, this is our area, boys. Looks like they're in a 2-2 split in the pairing system here. Who's actually behind you? And we'll see in a second.
It's Mio.
Yep, Joski in the field. Looks like they're putting down warning shots as well. They have some information of where other players are. The compound in front of them is not actually taken, so I don't really mind. We'll be calling that information for Joski. Silenced M16, got an ump on the back as well. What's that? Level 1 helmet, ugh, not the best. Any kind of 7.62 is going to make easy work of that. Level 2 when it comes to bag and chest, so that's happy days, but at least needs to try and get a new helmet.
Yeah.
Look at this on the little speedboat. Look at the bullets. He's just dodging, weaving, ducking, diving. Can he stay alive? That one's been dinked. Will we see the first person go down in the water? He's aborting mission. Jumps down and dives, but that's not the best place to be. I mean, he's dead center in the circle, but you can't heal underwater.
No.
You come out, it's going to be like a D-Day landing. Unfortunately, you'll be just looking at the blunt end of Rogue's gun.
And at least, I mean, this is a good way for Pujamanoda here from Navi. It's a good way to scout for the other guys, but taking that much fire and not being able to transition even further into the zone, because I believe he wanted to be on either side or just in the middle, waiting for what kind of zone was going to go here. We already see some early rotations. Gent side pushing into the yellows, northwest of the western bridge, northeast of the western bridge. Digital Chaos already have that. Red zone is already there. Red zone is really good position. And here we see Knights moving actually further in. They're moving close to the potato hill here in the middle of the map, close to that. So they're going to take the dirt road north of the farm here. Liquid also making them move way in slowly, trying to get some cars. Fuffin's here taking out a victim. I didn't see who it was, but he got some loot already.
Didn't quite catch the kill feed either, unfortunately, so we're not entirely sure which person did drop there. It looks like it's actually a member of FaZe, so Jempty going down, one of the big bad boy teams.
Yeah.
First victim.
So Jempty was out for some scouting here, or maybe even looting here on this side here, but taking out losing a member that early is hurtful on FaZe, especially Jempty, which is one of their best players.
How much pressure does that put onto a team, Avenger, when you lose a member so early on?
I mean, it puts a lot of pressure onto you as well. Of course, when you're a 3, you're still able to take fights. You're still able to move as a team and be a bit aggressive. But if they're going to lose one more early, then you immediately go from being able to make some plays to go into a 2-man like salvage situation, I feel like. especially when we see these teams. When you're only 2 guys, you're not able to breach compounds. You're not able to really breach anything and push anything aggressively. You're more in a salvage, like defensive position.
Taking a look at the bigger picture then, Crimson, they're starting to rotate inwards. We can see Kavorka and crew, they're also moving down as well. Anonymous, Kingwin on the left-hand side. Larson and Vard, they're just taking it absolutely wide. Very spread out from Kingwin, I suppose. It is, you know, it's good if one of you gets dinked and taken down. If the knock comes through, the rest of you can at least carry on, especially if you're playing the edge like that, because playing the edge so much, if you do go down, the zone's going to kill you instantly. None of your teams are actually going to be able to pick you up. Na'Vi here, though, they have their teammates going to at least get the health back who was chilling in the water earlier on. Drainies and Shade do have the compound, but they need to be careful because there are some people just lurking on the opposing side, which is going to be the boys from Havu. May see a little bit of engagement come through. Don't think Na'Vi have the info that they are actually behind them. Oh, look at that M4. That is geared. Grip 8 times. I love an M4. At the moment, is it fair to say strongest they are, apart from getting a crate gun when it's geared?
I mean, the strongest setup right now is just 2 M4s, basically. You have an M4 with maybe an angle grip for the faster ADS and more horizontal recoil. Havoc here, he has seen them. So Havu has the info on these guys. And look how centered it is on the western side. People want to be ready for this transition, either into the water or going onto the western bridge here. The density of players in the middle here, close to the water, is insane. Avanga's made their top onto the Potato Hill as well. Liquid also making their way in. Crimson also making their way in.
Potato Hill. I was calling it Pachinki Hill until someone actually said it for so long, and then all of a sudden it literally does look like a giant potato.
But the Pachinki Hill is the one west of Pachinki.
Yeah.
So you kind of don't want to mix too much up. And it looks like a giant potato. So potatoes fast and easy. Here, Na'Vi making a move.
Do they have the info that our team's here, or are they just wanting to reposition? Havu will know they're here. Havu is standing right still. I mean, look at Lenzo. Whether or not he's copped for them, I don't think Shade's going off on his own. This could be very dangerous.
He's going to take the buggy.
Yeah, but he's out in the open. Maybe he's seen something. He said, nope, I'm now going to run away from this one. Havu will just kind of holding the ground, which is fair play to them. There's no point going for the pick if you don't have to go for it just yet. Oh, they've spotted him, but there you go. The bullets will through. Shade should drop down. Scar hits the deck. Ewan as well in the kill feed. Red zone. One of the players does get knocked. That's Craven. Shade will fall. Relax takes out Yuki as well. He'll be finishing him off, so Yuki gets flushed by Rick Snaz. So another player falls victim. Drainy's down at the bottom. He hits the water. Na'Vi, they're going to try and just... I don't know. We've... oh, hang on a minute. Who's that one? So that's going to be Sun touched as well. So Yuang finishing him off. That's 2 now for Yuang. Rogue coming through, finding victims down on the side. Shade's actually crawled off. This will be a huge revive from Drainy's if he manages to get it.
And they can't really, they don't really have any pressure from either side, so I think they're going to be able to pick up Shade here and go into the water. The next circle has popped already, so Havu here, they're trying to reposition themselves. Next zone, yeah, and it's gone on to almost the density of all the players. Of course, there's been some transitions here and there. Vankam making their way into the north, Liquid making their way into the compound.
Just keep an eye on the kill feed, guys, just in the top right-hand corner, because it's about to get lit. Phase out in the water. They're going to be struggling as they do start to get attacked left, right, and center. Fuzz, he'll hit the water and say, okay, well, maybe it's time to try and reposition, because that boat's just a safe target, especially with all these, the AKMs that here in the 762 is going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. They'll blow the boat up, so now they know they can keep the fishes in the water.
Yeah.
Try and keep going for them. Throw some grenades down there, maybe get a kill or not. Killing the kill feed. Who's that? It's going to be Graven going down. He gets knocked
by Mio. The stand-in of Digital Chaos. Crimson made their way in as well, so nearly all the team here, they have made their way into the zone. Crimson in the northwestern side. Team Imperial is moving in as well. Sunsets did get killed earlier, but they're all 3 alive as well. No teams has gone out yet. Mio finishing off Gavin from Red Zone. And look at all these teams still close to the water here. Digital Chaos in a fantastic position in the middle compound here. And everyone else trying to make their way in.
I really like DC's position. I like those, like the barn kind of areas, especially being central as well between DC and Liquid. They kind of had the center of the circle, so they'll be banking on it going there. King Gwyn taking the farm compound, and happy days to him. Havu, they will start to move away. Enzo, Lenzo, and Jorski just looking down there again. They may not necessarily have the information. Rogue, I'm surprised no one's actually had a go at gatekeeping Rogue, to be honest. They kind of took the opposing side of the bridge themselves and held it. But no one actually came their way. DC, Ewan, and Fausto with the flush. Straight onto Froz. He's gone. See you later, my friend. Rest in pieces. Yannick down in the water, getting himself back.
Yeah.
He'll be out on the floor, so probably should be hitting a med rather soon. Kill feed again. Gent side, Andrea. He is down as well. That comes from Shade, so they'll be picking up one for Na'Vi. 58 remaining.
Yeah, 16 teams still alive here. Rogue is trying to push on to this this southwestern side of the map here. They're trying to push onto the glass position, the glass building, which is a really good position, and it's actually open. Stab here with a Groza, full level 2 as well. A really good position. They just got this drop, and they're in a pretty decent position here on the aforementioned Pochinki Hill.
If you get a silencer, now obviously remember, no other attachments fit this Groza apart from the silencer. It gives you the 5% reduction. If you get a silencer on that thing, and a 4 times, even without the silencer, that gun is an absolute laser beam. Strongest AR in the game, runs 7.62, it's going to hit you, is it 48 per bullet? It does so much damage.
And the rate of fire is absolutely insane.
It's nuts, isn't it? And the fact that it's a laser and just you can actually kind of control the spray. Circle tightens up and it moves towards the bridge. So Rogue, they still have that side. They can move across now. Got one team up in the lighthouse. They can kind of take the, I want to say the garage is just off the edge of the bridge. So nobody will gatekeep them back. They'll have to move early because they've got no cover on that bridge. But here comes the rotation. Liquid, they're going to move in from the, from the right-hand side. Knights, they'll hit the side of the corners. They're in the cliffs. They'll be able to hold Cloudtail and the boys back as well because they have to now move into them unless they drop into the water and opt to swim it.
Yeah.
Liquid get themselves just on that hillside there, play off the defilades. It looks like Kavorka and co. They've spotted Anonymous as he's starting to rotate around in the vehicle. Stab in the middle with that Groza. Larsen's extending a little bit, probably for the information. Member from Jet side falling down. Tap, 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 straight out the back of the wagon, and he's dead. So Gent side either lost 1 or 2 members there. Henzo Lenzo has just run himself over, so that's not necessarily the best thing to be doing at this competition level.
Maybe a
maybe
fat
fell.
finger?
Maybe fell.
Yeah, it could be a fall as well. Yeah, he knocked himself by falling. Could be taking more shots. But Minoda here, they're in a really good position here, and they actually pushed out Genside, or Project X as they are now called. They actually pushed out these guys from this big compound here, these yellows. And Knights here making their way in, and they're on the edge of this zone, and they're able to play either pushing on foot here or jumping down to the water. So this is a really strong position in the current zone, making players able to come into the next one.
Small note, Mexi did just fall from the game, so that's going to be 2 members of FaZe down. Very early to see FaZe drop. There on, sprays come through, Survivor. Hits the shot, comes through with a flush. That's Macken down. Sells also to Scoom. He's picking one up with the AKM. 12 points in the bag for Liquid then. How many more they've got from the side. Yeah. With the tank buster, as I like to call it.
Yeah, indeed. And meanwhile, we actually saw Celis going out from red zone. So that is red zone as the first team out in this BO10.
Jazza look at 4 times, sees the vehicle coming by. Crimson decides, okay, well, we'll head in here. We don't want to end up in 15, so they'll keep going through. It's all kind of the calm before the storm now. Enzo Lenzo, he falls to the kill zone. Samsi's going to get dropped as well. Just keep an eye on that kill feed, guys. It's all right us kind of playing it through and player by player, but you guys can see exactly what's going on. And this is kind of this point where we're looking for these teams to start going on. Everyone's starting to hit the water. Crimson know they don't necessarily have these compounds and the high ground that a lot of the other teams have. Generally speaking, when we get to this circle, you know that if you're going to be, I think it's fair to say, you know, as a pro player, if you're going to hit a compound Avenger, there's going to be someone in there.
Yeah, 100%. At this level, with 15 teams alive, Yannick here taking a lot of shots, have to fall back. Crimson here, a team that really can hit their shots as well, making some defense here. And they're in a pretty decent position as well. They can play the water and the beat side all the way around. And there's still some sort of water in. Rogue in a good position too. If they have to cross even further east or north, there are teams, as you said, in pretty much every position. We saw Plumbers as well going for the split in the small love shacks on the field. The field is pretty much centered. So Anonymous and Stab, and one more member of this Plumbers, they have the 2 love shacks in the middle basically. As you said as well, Digital Care's in a pretty strong position in the compound east of that. They can cross to the hill as well. Usually we see teams playing the hill as well between Na'Vi and Digital Chaos, but not yet because DC really want to keep that open. Liquid fighting against Vitality in the top. The two Titans here trying to make the North theirs.
Survivor gets a kill of his own in the Kofi. We did just see that one come up, and now we're watching these teams. Now they kind of a bit of a blessing here for FaZe. They've only got 2 players, going to be Hexete and Fuzzface. I mean, 2 men that can make a mountain of work themselves because they're an unbelievable set of players, but they do have the circle, so they can at least keep on chilling and try and claw their way up that leaderboard, because it is going to get difficult when you're playing a game that's 12 points per kill. People are going to be hungry. They're going to want these. Na'Vi out front, excuse me, not Na'Vi. This is going to be Avanga, the old team. As soon as I see an octave, I just think of Drainies instantly. I just remember the duo ship for so long. But look at that bad boy. Scar, grip, 8 times, extended. Going to try and pick and poke some people off. Drayden takes out Yokis. It's going to be a vehicle explosion, so 12 points in the back there. Samti back onto Drayden. He knocks him, he goes down. A second knock comes through, back onto Survivor. So the Knights, they're getting picked, they're getting peeled. DC comes through with another knock as well. 50 members alive here, but this could be an easy 2 kills there for Fausto. No, Drayden will be stolen. James comes in, bags himself 12 points, and all of a sudden so does Fausto. Baller grenade comes through. Kobe, see you later, Survivor, you are dead.
Yeah, we see DC here making the move, as I talked about, moving onto this hill here, but they moved too early, so they actually left the compound while it was still inside the zone, making Liquid able to take the compound and actually take shots at them. You might want to, in a position like this, you might want to make sure that you clear your back here, but they actually left the compound, making it able to Liquid to go in and actually flush 2 of the Knights, and also taking out one of the Digital Chaos players.
I wonder if Survivor ever regrets his name when he dies.
Maybe. Maybe.
47 players alive. We've only lost 1 team so far, and this circle is starting to become crunch time, boys. Plenty of people starting to see each other. You can see Liquid on the side there. They're forcing the rotation. The vehicle's in the middle. The bullets will come through. But Mihu's pushed back as well. Ewan gets taken down by Samti. Straight across the map, we see Shiv. Vitality are now making their way into the fight. Shiv takes out Rixnaz with the vehicle explosion. He's gone still. Everyone playing for placement at the moment. Looks like a grenade's come through from Samti. Ewan from Digital Chaos. He'll see the blunt end of that one. James answers back, though, from Liquid. And it's a matter of just us trying to keep track of this. I'm seeing quite a lot of points coming out of Liquid so far. DC themselves, Fausto with the AKM. The 762 comes through, but Ibiza has actually just taken out Fausto. DC, they end in 15th place. Ibi may have just saved James and they get into the position. Scoom's throwing down the smoke. That could be not only a kill in the bag for them, a placement, but also a save on the teammate.
Indeed. And also, they did what I said here. They kept the compound until the absolute last time they had to move. They even left Ibiza behind to be able to hold this cross cover. So they 3 guys breached the hill, and then 1 guy hold the flank on them. Fantastic play here by Liquid. Fantastic wipe on Digital Chaos. FaZe, meanwhile, and Knight, they're in the water, swimming a bit. Grammar here trying to make a position here. Hexeti already on the beach, trying to maybe fish some of these guys, but they really want to save some placement here, and they did that by staying in this water as well.
Shadow has just fallen to the play zone. Player will mag themselves 12 points off of his death. We'll watch where this next circle updates. Everyone kind of getting themselves into a little bit evenly spread out amongst all different people. Samti may have eyes on the care package. James may work with him to try and see if they can grab themselves this gun. It always all the way on the edge, but it all depends where the next one does force these teams into. Clamp, bang, smack. Thank you very much. Liquid, gent side. Down at the bottom, Na'Vi, they're all in. Knights, you can see Karma just on the beach. He could potentially hold these people, which in the form of FaZe, inside the water, but he's going to have a difficult task. You know, going up against 2 members of FaZe on your own is never going to be easy. James with the level 3, level 2 on the chest. The helmet obviously being one of the most important and vital parts. That's going to be an M24 with a 15 times in there, but it is late game. You have to question, is it worth going for at this point, you know, and how many teams are still alive?
I mean, the 15X is usually used to read minds, basically. It's hard to shoot with it. It's some nades coming in here, taking Kingdom very low. Havu here on the push on this hill. But we're going to be able to connect some of these shots. You're taking some shots and pulling a bit back here. Actually, they're on to a full 4v3 situation right now.
Don't quote me on that. I think we just lost the Knights. I did see Grim in the kill feed, so I'd assume that the Knights have gone down. Unfortunately, that'll put them out in 14th place, just ahead of Digital Chaos. 41 players alive for such a small area. Skoom onto T-Bone. Havoki onto Murasu. Havoki himself gets answered back by Ewan from Rogue. There's the flush on Havoki. He's down. Gaxi comes in onto him. He seals the deal on that one. Jeems straight onto T-Bone with the K9. Crimson, they're going to be taking out Fuffens as well. That's going to be a grenade on there. Flames firing up in the cornfield, hiding behind the vehicle. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a burning vehicle, but it's still at least a little bit of cover to get the head in against some of these bullets. Tank Buster sees him through there. Gaxi rolling the kill feed with the M4 onto Havu. Jeems' POV right now, leaning with a red dot, long range shot. I saw blood then, so that definitely connected. But look at all these bodies. Everybody is dropping left, right, and center. Everyone playing for placement and hoping that their team doesn't go down. Look at all these bodies. Look at that kill feed. Dead, 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 dead. And we've lost a team. Now we're down to 12.
I believe that was Havu going out as 13, but we also see there's slight bit of water here, but Crimson is making a fantastic job at gatekeeping everybody here. Yannick, meanwhile, Rogue pushing here. Kingwin also pushing Stab here, so they're going to make a move in that. Stab is going to close the door. Larsen's going to say, no, no, knock, knock. Closing the door again. I don't think they have any nades, but they're going to jump up here.
He's jumping on the car.
Try to make a move here. They're going to push in there, and Kingwin taking out Stab here from the Plumbers, and Plumbers is out at 12th now.
Nice work, and that'll also transfer the Groza that was in his hands. So nice way to jump on the car off the barrels and dink him and take him out. 2 members of Crimson. The Walking Dead here. Pybus just trying to stay alive and pray. Not even play, but pray for placement. Cloudtail, Pokemon Love can just hold them from the top. Ixete has dropped, unfortunately. Did I just see? No, so he's still alive. So FaZe is still in this. They're making it up to the top 10. It looks like Crimson will be the ones, 1, 2, 3, that fall in 11th place. Liquid and Vitality. Nice at least bit of ground that they can get in on.
Indeed.
But look how spread out we can see from Avangara.
Yeah, Avangara has, they made a run for it, trying to get into the middle of the zone. It's a kind of open zone. You have some ditches, some small ridges, some places you can play, and they're just splitting out to try to make sure that they're going to ensure some placements here. Liquid has a really strong position here. It looks like they're going to try to make a move, getting in a bit further to the zone, putting some of those USs to use on the trees. Bisa here, taking shots from Vitality.
Teams know where the players are. All the way up at the top, you can see him just hiding behind 2 vehicles. They will blow one, but he doesn't find any victims whatsoever. They can keep moving forward. Vitality are just going to chill down. Ewing's been spotted though. Pokemolody. That's a great name, is that? It's not easy to say either. Been practicing. Pokemolody does find victim on 1. More bullets do come through. Jeems single tap on the M4. Grenade straight on to Fuzzface and Cloudtail. Now, I'd say if Ixete's still up, which I don't know, either FaZe are going out in 10th or they're still alive. Yannick will fall, so will Jazza, so will Ewan. So that's Rogue, they are gone. 8 teams remaining. Liquid looking positively strong here. Gaxi falls. And all of a sudden we see Page. He can just see them from the back, tapping one down. 12 points in the bag there, straight from Liquid. Thank you very much. Jeems finally finds Kavorka across the map. Ibi also onto Kavorka, so the flush does come through. 7 teams remain.
Yeah, and Hexeti here out at 8th as well. The play zone took him out. He couldn't get up here. Navi doing a fantastic job at gatekeeping here. Shade and Pokemon making some great plays in gatekeeping. They're still inside the zone here in the south. Avangard has a fantastic split. We also have Genside on the east side. Liquid in the north. Kingwin is still alive in the north, in the west as well. Mominho here is being spotted by Pidgeminota. He's going to be able to take him out, or is he just going to spray down this hot? He is! And Mominho is taken down by Pidgeminota, his fellow CIS region member. Kingwin Larsen here outside this zone, taking some chunks. He's going to be able to pop off some of those fantastic first aids.
Ooh.
Vitality taken out.
Yeah.
Monkey is also healing outside the zone. Liquid has a fantastic position in the zone, in the northern part of the zone.
The only, I believe, the only member alive for Vitality as well. Nope, he's gone. That's it. They're down. So 6th place there for the French gods themselves. Vitality, they will fall. Peach with the long distance AKM shot barrels him and sees him. But look at Liquid. They have so much room to play. Larsen's going for placement. Silence Groza on his back, but it's not going to do anything against this blue zone. He's just going to heal and play and heal and play. He might try and make a run for it. It's a long way to go. It's probably going to kill him this next one anyway. Yeah. So He's just going to have to heal and see what he can do.
Ooh.
Cracks another first aid off. He'll keep going. And he's just hoping that another team falls before he does.
That's not going to happen. Larsen out at 5th. Kinguin taking 5th here is also very strong and very proficient for them. But meanwhile, we have Na'Vi, we have Avanga, and we have Liquid alive still. Genside is also on the edge here, but Avanga is kind of gatekeeping them, and Noctiv and Keen in a pretty decent position. They have to smoke themselves off here, but Yamanota already in the new zone here. It's popped a bit further south, a bit far away from Liquid, and Liquid really has to make a fantastic play to be able to make it in without taking so much fire from Liquid. Or without taking so much fire from Na'Vi, sorry. So Liquid here, they're gonna try to smoke it up. There are some trees, there are some cover. Not too much though, Noctiv in a strong position.
If he gets a knock though,
yeah,
Pokemon will drop, so that 8 times is removed there from the boys from the CIS. He will go down. Na'Vi probably won't go to get the heal on there. They'll just kind of play it out because they are stuck between 2, in fact 3 teams. We did it. Now we'll see all of a sudden it's Liquid, the only ones with 4 remaining. Ibim works his way up, but gets a welcome wagon of bullets. He'll drop back. He does have the rock, he does have the car, he does have the tree, so he can at least play this one. Pubg also going down. Another knock there from Liquid. Liquid at the moment are just firing on all cylinders, but Scoom's actually been knocked himself, so they do get answer back. He's covered in smoke. So Shade would have to just kind of fire through and pray for a connection. Oh,
a lurker here.
An Octave. There's another player actually behind him, but he now needs to run towards him because the blue's on his back. He's going to get forced out, and he will drop. Samti spots him from a distance. Keen also onto Filu. An Octave comes through. 12 points in the bag there for Avanga.
Vic from Gensai paying a bit of a spoiler here. I'm not sure that Keen knows it. Keen is taking fire, is taken out by Vic here. So Vic is going to maybe be able to secure that kill. And that leaves a Noctiv alone from Avanga. 3 teams alive. He did spot him. And he's going to be taken out as well. Drain is taking out his former teammate in Noctiv here. And it's a 4 versus 3 right now. Liquid and Na'Vi in the top 2.
The one player as well from Na'Vi actually got taken out by Liquid. So they've kind of done themselves some favors here. They do have the smoke. And we actually saw this in Curse Trials. We saw the exact one, Na'Vi versus Liquid once again. But they do have the man advantage. If there's a man who can, it's Drainies though. He's not getting picks. Drainies onto Scoom, throws a nade. That's going to be Scoom falling for a 2nd time in a row. So now he'll get the long bleed out. I'd be surprised if they went for the heal on him. They do have the smoke, but you have to be very careful here. Pubg with the 8 times, just waiting for Samti to show him. Drainies comes in with the finish. And knocks Ibby as well, so 2 for 1. That's massive from Na'Vi. Drainy single-handedly taking 3 players.
Drainies here is going to make a move for it. They do have the zone though, so they have to push for this. It's a 3 versus 2 right now. Samti spotting here, and Drainies have his eyeball on him. Taking some shots. James knows this. They need to defend this zone. It's going to move in 15 seconds. Yamanota is taking down to 50% HP as well. They're not sure where everybody is, trying to make sure that there's no lurkers, taking some pre-fire here. They have a pretty good spot here, but they do have to move into this new zone. Liquid have a really strong position. 2 of the members already in the zone.
They don't have to peek. They don't have to get a pick. They know 110% it's Na'Vi that are the ones that have to move here. They have to move towards them. Na'Vi, they're playing this as long as they can. Drainy steps up, it's time to go. They know that Drainy's falls. There's number 1. Shade taking bullets, there's number 2. Number 3's hiding behind the car. I think that's going to be GG all she wrote. They're going to pick up these points. That's going to be 36 points in the bag for Team Liquid, as well as the chicken dinner. 400 points. Liquid, they wash away Na'Vi, as simple as that. And oh boy, 15 kills.
That is massive. That's 400
money.
Points. And some quick math.
I'm waiting on you. I'm not doing it. If you want to look like an idiot, you can go.
That's 580 points, I believe.
Wow. Now, just to kind of step back a little bit, okay, we're getting happy for Liquid. I have to give credit where credit's due to Na'Vi.
Yeah, they also got 15 kills.
Exactly, but more importantly, to turn a 4 versus 3 into a 3 versus 2. If it had been the other way around, if Liquid would have been moving towards the circle, it could have been a completely different story. To be able to, at least before going out completely, eliminate 2 members, you know, that's still, what, 24 points they've added before dying.
Yeah.
To bag themselves another 24 points, as well as actually 300 points for 2nd place.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in the top 7 makes at least a minimum of 100. Below top 7, when you move into 8, I think it's 90 points in there on. It's all below. But 15 points each, that's a very, very strong start from both Na'Vi and Liquid.
I think those games yesterday in the Curse Trials here for Liquid, I think that's some momentum they can keep playing on. It really looks strong from Liquid here at least.
I mean, we do have to remember that, okay, this team, it was put together. We all kind of said, all right, at the time when it was put together, it's a little bit of a god squad is this. They've done a rather large change here. They've brought on some sick individual talent. They've only ever been to one LAN event, and that one LAN event they did, I think it was James that was just wrecking house. He was just a wrecking ball.
Yeah, James was the top fragger by far at Starlet. Yeah.
To come second, after when you look at what they didn't do, they didn't qualify for PGL, they didn't qualify for GLL. There were another event they didn't qualify. They went on a really bad run, like a really bad run that we think, okay, this is just teething issues. To go to the first LAN event and pull second was an unbelievable performance, and they've just kept going, obviously winning Curse yesterday, and now straight away off the bat, another chicken dinner, so congratulations to them. We're going to take a very, very short break. When we return, we'll have the standings, and we'll get cracked on with game number 2. Don't go anywhere. See you in a second.